What is up, math superstars? In this edition of Mr. Peterson Presents, we are talking about how to convert from metric to customary conversions. And so these are things that you might have done in the beginning of the school year, or if you were taking a science class. Really super important, especially if you travel anywhere around the world. But in order to do this, we're using our friend the proportions. So these proportions are going to be used to convert between the metric and customary systems. The metric system is used pretty much all around the world. The customary system primarily used in the United States. Metric is things like centimeters and meters. Customary, we have inches and miles, but we're going to talk about all the different ones coming up here in our video. But the biggest key right here is that you need to be able to label and order your proportion consistently. That is going to be the key for you to be successful in this objective. So let's have a couple examples here. So we need to go ahead and convert inches to centimeters. And so our goal here is we need to convert 4 inches to centimeters. So our first step here is we need to set up our proportion. So right here, the very first part, right here, we have 1 inch. So we have inches over centimeters. So we know 1 inch is equal pretty close to 2.54 centimeters. That's going to be one side of the proportion, is the part that we know. And then we need to make sure we add our labels here. Inches and centimeters is going to be over inches and centimeters. And so we can put 4 inches on the top, and we use our variable of x as our denominator. And what we can do now is we could cross multiply. So let's go ahead and do that here. So we can say that x is, so 1 times x is x, and 4 times 2.54 gives us 10.16, and then we had to add our label. What we're trying to solve for is centimeters, and I'm going to use the abbreviation cm for that. Let's go ahead and convert grams to ounces. So we need to go ahead and convert 10 grams to ounces. And so our first step here, we set up our proportion. So we're given what the conversion is. So the conversion is going to be on the left-hand side. We have 1 gram. That's equal to 0.035 ounces. And then we need to convert grams to ounces. And so we need to make sure add the labels. And so when you're doing your work, you're going to be adding the labels here. And then we go ahead and cross multiply these. And so we have x, 1 times x is x, being equal to 0.035 times 10 gives us 0.35. And I'm going to use the abbreviation for ounces as OZ. Now let's go ahead and convert gallons to liters. And so we have our conversion on the left-hand side right here. We have 1 gallon is really close to 3.785 liters. A really weird way that I know that is that if you look at modern toilets, it actually gives you the conversion on the toilet. Just throwing that out there. We need to convert gallons to liters, so we have 6 gallons on the top, and we have x liters at the bottom. So let's go ahead and cross multiply here. So when we do that, we have x being equal to 6 times 3.785. Comes out to 22.71 liters. Let's convert milliliters to fluid ounces now. So we need to convert 1,500 milliliters, mLs, milliliters, to fluid ounces this time. So the reason why this is fluid ounces is we're dealing with liquids. And so we have our conversion here on the left-hand side. 1 milliliter is pretty close to 0.034 fluid ounces. And that equals 1,500 milliliters at the top. And what we're trying to figure out is x fluid ounces at the bottom. What we can do is let's go ahead and cross multiply here. So when we do that, we have x being equal to 1,500 times 0.034 gives us 51, and then the abbreviation for this is FL for fluid, and then OZ for ounces. So we're given 51 fluid ounces is really, really close to 1,500 milliliters. And on the back of your notes, just want to make you aware of this. You might want to highlight this part right here, but you're given two charts to use for your classwork. And so here we're given one that goes metric to customary. And then we're given a second chart right here where we're going customary to metric. And so in the following notes, you can use your chart to figure this out. So what we're going to ask you to do, since there's not really a lot of space on the classwork pages, is you can get a blank sheet of paper, or you can use a dry erase board to go ahead and show your work. You need to set up the proportion, make sure they're properly labeled, and then solve for X. So I know that some of you will be very encouraged to go ahead and ask Siri what the conversion is, but Siri won't help you in the practice of doing conversions. And so please, please, please set up the proportions, what we're looking for. We're looking for you to solve for X and to figure it out the correct way. And then, of course, Siri is sometimes wrong, which we've noticed before, so please do not trust Siri in doing your classwork today.